Hey guys, welcome back to a new Battlefield 6 news video. I know I rarely do them recently, but I thought this one is really interesting for me as well. So we got a blog post about Railway to Golmud, so the reimagined version of Golmud Railway, the map you probably all know from Battlefield 4, and we got this full blog post right here about the development of Railway to Golmud and also a few side-by-side pictures. So I thought this would be interesting, and we're gonna read through this. So the biggest official Battlefield 6 map yet is coming in Season 3. We already talked about this in a former video. An icon from the past reimagined. On the railway to Golmud, infantry, ground vehicles, jets and helicopters collide in a massive all-out war. Across several square kilometers, NATO and Pax Armada will battle for control of a village in ruins, a massive rolling landscape full of hills and valleys ablaze with tank shootouts. An industrial site for fast-paced close-quarters combat and a moving railway that squads must battle for control. And here we have the top-down view of Golmud Railway, and I think you can already see that it looks a little bit different, or actually quite different, to the Battlefield 4 version. Originally released in Battlefield 4, Golmud Railway was the largest map at launch in terms of land area, for clarity to those Parasol Storm fans out there. Two of the original level artists of Golmud Railway are still here at DICE, so we all work together to not only recreate their work, but also understand what was not possible in Battlefield 4 and bring those ideas to life in Battlefield 6. Featuring land and air vehicles, buggies, tanks, helicopters and jets, Battlefield 4's Golmud Railway is defined by its train. As those who played Conquest over a decade ago will tell you, once a team captured the train, it moved towards their headquarters. The Railway to Golmud faithfully improves these moments. Not only does this new railway have several charts with cover parkour opportunities and double the amount of engines, one on the end of each train, it also heads towards the enemy headquarters rather towards the headquarters of the team who captured the objective. So it's the other way around this time. We made this change because in most Battlefield 4 matches, the train mainly remained on one side of the map and did not get any gameplay. So in this version, the train is now easier to capture back, but also the team holding the objective now has a strategic place to spawn and capture the flag closest to their enemy's HQ. The action has been moved from China to Tajikistan to entrench it within the story between NATO and Pax Armada, while the visuals and audio have been enhanced to reach the quality bar we've set with Battlefield 6. At the same time, this map's playable area is far larger than that of Murak Valley, the largest of all launch maps, but with an emphasis on making it easier for infantry traversal without losing space for vehicles. On closer inspection, Railway to Golmud features dozens of updates themed around expanding the airspace. This is what they already talked about in the roadmap, adding verticality and flanking opportunities for better engagements at all distances, and more cover pieces for infantry against vehicle scenarios and to reduce cross-objective dominance. Leading with aerial combat, the airspace is the largest of any Battlefield 6 multiplayer map to date. Jet players can now go around the closest mountain peaks and have dogfights in the valleys and glaciers. On the ground, veteran players know the pitfalls of no man's land across Golmud Railway in between major objectives. Oh yeah, I definitely remember that. Inspired by another Battlefield map, Panzersturm from Battlefield 5, Battlefield Studios developers have added stone fences, foliage and other means of protection should a squad have to advance without a vehicle. And here the map designer says that with a new destruction system compared to Battlefield 4, they were now able to strategically place destructible environment pieces where they wanted them, but also indestructible pieces in areas where they wanted to channel players or keep vehicles away. For example, they used indestructible buildings in conjunction with terrain to add interesting verticality to the village areas. In addition to this, teams also have more cover pieces in their headquarters, which prevents total domination. Also, the mountain range has shifted. Elevated positions in both HQs are no longer a factor, and a small portion of the north and south boundaries, about 100 meters combined, were pushed in for the sake of balance. There are 7 major points of interest defined by the main conquest objective locations, with more tactical modes using only 1 to 2 points of interest to focus fighting within an area. These points of interest are the construction site, formerly the school from Battlefield 4, a village, the VIP compound, the train, and the bridge construction, the warehouse, and the farm. So the construction site and village is what we see here in this side-by-side picture. This was redesigned from the ground up while keeping the roads in the same space as the original. The village, as well as the construction site, which is in the place of the old school, takes learnings from the past to create a better environment for both infantry and vehicle combat. In the original design, the village objectives both looked identical, and once the houses were leveled, there was nothing standing in the way of a tank dominating the objectives. And now in Railway to Golmud, vehicles can still level the village, but infantry still have fighting chance with the debris cover piles that remain. As for the construction side, this is now a strong defensive point to hold in breakthrough and rush modes, as well as a landmark to lead your squad towards when covering long distances. Then we have the VIP compound area, where the lone communication tower is now an intricate network of steel antennas and red roof buildings. Pilots should have an easier time grabbing the chopper and leaving before getting picked off, and infantry can take up position in the various houses or in the wooden guard towers to fend off attackers. Then of course we have the train. We already talked about this before, so the movement is different now, but another major change has to do with the space between this objective's starting location and the warehouse. Before, the only cover in this space was a few rocks and a large power pylon, and now there is a fully destructible power station, including a small forest to provide additional cover. Then we have the bridge construction. Unfortunately, there is no picture of this in this post, but the writing that originally open and relatively flat, the construction crews of the modern railway to Golmud finally put down some roadway and brought out the heavy machinery, yet still can't figure out how to put the final 3-deck pieces on the substructure. So additional road pieces, dirt mounts, and spare equipment all combine to provide better verticality, cover against vehicles, and flanking pathways for infantry. Then we have the warehouse that now facilitates better infantry play while still allowing vehicles to rip up the asphalt roads. Bridged by 2 elevated walkways, these 2 multi-story warehouses include large hangar doors for easy vehicle access or multiple entry points on the ground or rooftop levels. And lastly, we have the farm. Closer to the Pax Armada headquarters, the farm bore plenty of fruit for a small compound to grow. Within a larger walled complex, the humble farmer built up their shack into a 2-story farm home with an additional dwelling unit and a shack. Unfortunately for them, it can all come crashing down, but at least in the early stages of a match, these walls and buildings can provide better cover when capturing the objective at its center. And then lastly, updates from Battlefield Labs. And here they're writing that at the end of Railway to Golmud's development process, the final stage, several Battlefield Labs testing rounds allowed Battlefield Studios to make multiple adjustments, including changes to sidelines, vehicle quantity, and headquarters sizing. Specifically, during the final tests to the largest group of Battlefield Labs players, one match saw a team hole up near the anti-air systems in their HQ and unintentionally dominate the lobby. The developers saw this and reacted accordingly, so the AA system was fine-tuned to only protect player and vehicle spawns, not stretching out more than 95 meters from the turret. Now it will still protect against aircraft coming close, but the missile stopping distances are separate. And then they're again writing how important these Battlefield Labs tests are, and with a notably positive reception among Labs participants as well as internally during studio playtests around the world, Railway to Golmud is one map we cannot wait to release in Season 3 of Battlefield 6. If you want to know more about what you can expect to see in Season 3 of Battlefield 6, be sure to check out the video in the info box with the roadmap that we got, I think, like 2 weeks ago, where I already went over everything. Also, Season 4 and a little bit of Season 5, at least a little teaser. And yeah, that was pretty much it for this blog post. It's pretty interesting, actually. I hope that this plays well, because I really liked Golmud Railway. And just looking at this top-down picture here again, I think it definitely looks a lot better. It also looks like there is a lot more cover, a lot more path to go, more like clear path that you can go. So yeah, I'm eagerly waiting to get my hands on this map. But tell me what you think about this in the comments below, if you're waiting for this as well, if you don't have much trust or whatever else you want to write in the comments. Maybe a recipe for some chocolate cookie chips, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.